Brock Purdy on his national media tour after becoming the $265 million quarterback is telling the world that he's top 10. Mike, is 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy a top 10 quarterback?
You damn right.
I set you up for that one. Smash that like button, y'all. You had to answer the question.
I know that ain't right. I was so conflicted. I was like, that's not where he set me up. That's not where he leaving me. That's not what he doing. And then you were just like,
I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't. Shout out to everybody. Welcome to the BAM Show. We got the Breezy Bunch crew in the building. Jax Knox leading it off with the Hey Wayne, Mike, Faithful. Hope everyone is doing well. 49ers throwbacks here. Boats is in the building. Matthew's in the building. We're going to take a look at some of these comments for sure. Niner Faithful says, is it Breezy or I guess they were trying to figure out which one of us were late. Got you. I think that's what's – I don't know. I'm just trying to – I don't know why that question.
I'll take blame today.
No, I think that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's what it is. I was trying to figure out what he meant.
Yeah, no, they like playing that guessing game. They love it. Now, 80% of the time they put it on me, and it's cool.
Because 80% of the time it is you.
See, that's the second time you said something that it wasn't necessary. You ain't have to do that, though. You ain't have to do that.
You didn't have to give yourself a number. I wasn't going to give you a number.
You didn't have to agree. Like, I could have said
80.
80.
I'm going to agree with you, Mike. When you're
Mike.
right, I'm going to agree when you're right. Like,
I like this energy. Okay. All right. I'm ready. All right. Let's go.
Let's damn right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Hey, Mike. The Niners, this it's going to come to a point in life where we're going to do some fun stuff this offseason because it's going to get boring as hell. Mike, one of the things I would like to do with you and make it a BAM Show exclusive, not a Wayne Breezy exclusive, but a Breezy and Mike exclusive, is I really want to make our team, turn our team into Avenger characters, like from Marvel. Like, I want to figure out how we could do that. Like, you know, and I want to run poll questions on Twitter. We'll tag each other and we'll be like, hey, which character should Brock Purdy be in the Marvel? And we'll let them decide the characters. And then we'll create. No,
because if they get the wrong answer, I'm going to be mad. There's only one character for Brock Purdy to be.
Who is that?
You want my answer now? Or you want to wait and do this later?
Yeah. Like who you got him as?
He's got to be Thanos.
See,
because.
Everybody's off tangents. You said Thanos. Everybody was saying Spider-Man. I said he should be
Don't say
Ant-Man. Not Ant-Man.
That's so disrespectful.
That's not disrespectful.
Do that to my quarterback. You're not going to do that to my top 10 quarterback, bro.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Ant-Man into quantum physics? Isn't he smart?
Well,
so why you take the negativity?
It's the owner of the suit. It's the son of the suit in the show.
But he still knows what he's doing because he's running the parallel universes.
Nah, he'd just be emotional, pushing buttons and going in.
Okay. Well, then Brock's emotional.
He was the most insignificant person in all of Avengers.
I disagree.
Although what he did was important. Like, in order for them to travel through time.
Then don't say it was insignificant. How you gonna say the most insignificant? Because significance and importance is the same thing.
Nah.
Okay.
Like, when it was time to get stuff shaken, like Ant-Man wasn't going.
If Ant-Man couldn't get small, we don't win.
It's not about small. It was the travel. Like, you had to get so small that you could like, that's what the secret was.
Yeah, he had to learn how to do it.
That wasn't Ant-Man the character. That was the scientist behind Ant-Man.
Okay, bro.
But here's why I say Thanos, and you tell me if you disagree with this one.
I disagree.
Right? Thanos was just another big bad mofo, right?
No, the real character of Thanos was more than just a big bad mofo.
Until he got the stones, though, right? When he got the stones.
Well, Brock ain't got no stones.
Yes, he do. He got George Kittle. He got
Ayuk. Stones.
He got Christian McCaffrey.
I'm talking about rings.
He got Trent Williams.
That cat need ring. Them ain't the stones.
Bro, Brock Purdy got the stones, bro.
We're going to have fun on this. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
We're going to have fun. This is going to be fun. This motherfucker said Thanos.
I got one more caveat.
Okay, go ahead.
In this Avengers exercise that we're going to do.
Yes.
Are we including X-Men characters? Because
I didn't mean to say in Avengers because I don't even think Ant-Man was an Avenger. I feel like
he was in it.
He was in it, but I don't think he was in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't he?
He was in the Marvel, but
he was in the Marvel.
That's why I'm asking.
I meant Marvel.
About
That's what I meant. I meant Marvel.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, I meant Marvel. This is gonna be fun, guys. Y'all gonna have a blast. I can tell you right now. I'm gonna have a blast because no one loves cartoons more than me, and I need that for my sanity. Like, I need some sanity for me going into another season. Mike, let's talk about Brock Purdy. He was on KNBR. He was interviewed after he did his presser, I believe, or it might have been before, whatever. I don't know. They released it, I believe, on yesterday, and he spoke. And I don't know if you got a chance to hear it, but I'm curious to know if you did, and if you do, what was your first take?
I haven't seen any of Brock Purdy's pressers yet.
Don't worry, I got you.
You a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
Yes, sir.
So we make lists all the time. You know, that's all we do here on Sports Talk Radio. Like, is that like something you hear about?
Like lists and stuff.
Yeah, like you put yourself. Yeah, put yourself amongst your peers.
Yeah, no, I think for sure I'm a top 10 quarterback. You know, I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna, create a list or anything right now. So,
all right. Now, the negative one, your O-line gets criticized by fans a lot. Really does. Like, we sit here every day and we do the show, and everybody's like, man, I'm so happy Warner's back. I'm so happy Kittle's back. I'm looking forward to a healthy McCaffrey. So many fans are so excited that you got your deal done and you're such a team player. But they say, man, if only he had an offensive line. What do you say to the fans out there who say your offensive line isn't good enough?
No, man, it's, every game and situation is so different, and things happen and whatnot. But those guys up front, man, I can tell you, like, they are war daddies. Like, every single day they're coming to work, getting better. I've got their back, they've got mine, and no, we're going to be just fine. And these guys here, man, have what it takes to have a successful season. And everybody's going to find out soon. I've got their backs, man, and it's nothing but love. And I really do believe in these guys. I'm not just saying that to say that. Like, these guys have taken the next step this offseason, and we're all going to continue to grow together.
All right. So that was it. I see Mike got a first take. He want to get off real quick. Mike, you got a bomb for him? Because you just look lost in the sauce real quick.
Nah, I think I want I think I want this nickname. I got to see. I'm looking up the meaning of War Daddy, a term used to describe a player with extraordinary ability and exceptional toughness. Oh yeah, I need this to be my nickname. I got to talk to my wife after this episode.
Do you want it to be War Daddy or War Zaddy? I'm just curious to know. Like,
I never knew the difference between that, and so I thought I don't know.
Okay, so all right, because you said you had to talk to your wife, so I didn't know if you meant War in the bedroom, because then there's gonna be Zaddy. If you just mean tough.
No, it could be either, because like as the man of the house, like everybody in the house calls me daddy. Like, like my wife talks to the dog, she said go with daddy. Right, and he comes running behind me, like so. Yeah. I'm okay with the D, but the Z thing would be cool too. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, like Mike. So Ball says, great answer after getting your cheese. Now, two things. One, let's focus on the answer about him being top 10. That's what this show's gonna be about. But they did ask him about the offensive line, and we're gonna save that for a whole nother show because I do want to break down the offensive line. I do want to say Brock Purdy was sacked 31 times in the league last year. So 31 times. So the offensive line, let's just go with 31 sacks. We'll leave it at that. But that is 15th in the league. So he tied with Jared Goff. And the last time I checked, this fan base loves the Lions offensive line. Jared Goff had 31 sacks as well. So let's talk about Brock Purdy being a top 10 quarterback. What the hell does that mean? Like, I think that's my first question. Like, how?
And this is why I hate this question, right? Are there 10 quarterbacks you would pick over Brock Purdy?
We know he's top 10
quarterbacks statistically better.
APY.
Well, no. And see, he could have just interpreted it that way. Like, do you think you're
right? But he didn't. He didn't mean that way. He wanted to know amongst his peers.
But how you know how he meant it? How you know?
Because he said amongst your peers. Like, do you guys make lists? Are you guys top? What do you consider yourself?
That's not how that started. It started with, are you top 10? That was it. That's all he said.
Right, and then he explained it later. He was like, amongst your peers, do you guys create like a list on Like who's the top at this and who's the top? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I get that. But what Brock answered didn't have the explanation behind it. So it was just, are you top 10? And he was
Right.
like,
He
yes.
said, yeah. Yes, sir.
It
That's
was
what he said.
It was a stupid question. Yes, sir. Yes. It
Yes.
was a stupid question. I don't think you should ever be in an interview asking a yes or no question. I think that's like very unprofessional. Like,
I think
if you think you're a top 10 quarterback, tell us why. That's the question. So you don't get a one-word answer. Yes, sir.
I mean, no. I mean, if you're gonna I agree with that, but my pushback to that is they could have just asked another question. They could have just asked a more in-depth question after he said yes, sir. So then my next question would have been, well, what makes you a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I went. We just combined questions. I said, if you think you're a top 10 quarterback, what makes you think that?
Well, we
Or
didn't
why-
combine
yeah.
question. Your question was more like just ask the question right the first time, so you don't have to set yourself up for asking a series of questions.
Right.
My
Yeah.
thing is, if you're gonna ask that first question, which is a yes or no answer, you're gonna get yes, no. Then make sure you got the next question ready to go, lock and loaded in the clip.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, so we were both right. I just feel like they didn't follow up with the next question. So
I got a challenge for you.
okay.
Instead of us trying to figure out the metric, tell
There
me
is no metric.
ways in which Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback.
To see, that's my thing. I don't think there is a
Yeah.
metric because how like there's no okay.
Ball placement. Brock Purdy's ball placement is top 10. Is he the most accurate? Absolutely not. But when he hits people, he hit them, bro. Like, his ball placement is top 10.
There's a lot of things that Brock Purdy does metric wise that is top 10, but overall, how are you combining all the metrics is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? What if Brock Purdy wasn't as great as these top tier quarterbacks with elite arms, but he does everything he needs to do and his team wins? So like, what are we measuring?
Like Peyton Manning.
I thought Peyton Manning was pretty damn good.
His arm wasn't good as well.
No.
I just would talk about the arm.
But I'm talking about processing, and I feel like you brought up Peyton Manning. I'm not comparing
Brock
Brock
Purdy's
Purdy.
got a good processor.
I'm not comparing them to, but I feel like that's where yo. I swear to goodness
Stop playing with me. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. I really want you to finish this. Go ahead, go.
I swear to goodness on Steph's show on 49 Carats today. Go and watch it. We talked about Peyton Manning, and we talked about just the Peyton Manning to Jeff Saturday, and we talked about Brock Purdy to Jake Brendel. And I said I would like to see Brock Purdy be like Manning in the huddle. I feel like he a dog in the huddle. I feel like in the huddle, he be getting on his players. Like we don't know that because we see Brock being a nice dude. But I feel like he's really an asshole inside the huddle. We just don't see it yet. We didn't know.
They
Peyton
already
Man-
confirmed it, though.
Yeah, but we
Ding, ding, baby.
But we don't see it yet, is what I'm saying, as far as the national media. And we didn't. Let's keep it a buck. We didn't know Peyton Manning was an asshole until NFL Films and Jeff Saturday was cussing him out on the sideline because Peyton Manning told Jeff Saturday to block, and Jeff Saturday said, "We'll run the fucking ball and then we'll block." I need Brendel to have that kind of energy in the offensive line.
So, okay, the mic'd up thing is the only reason we got that, right?
That's
Now,
true.
here-
That was
here's-
a special thing.
Here's the difference between Brock Purdy and Peyton Manning, right?
Experience?
Peyton Manning. Well, yeah, of course that like I'm talking about what we see on the field as far as being a field general before
Okay.
the snap.
Okay.
Right? Here's the difference. With the Colts, they call they play quick. It's 2 seconds, we at the line, and then Peyton moves everybody around.
That's true.
The long
Purdy-
nomenclature of our plays, that shit all happens in the huddle. Then we get there, and it's one of the two things.
That's
And
true.
Remember what I told you. We've seen Purdy
That-
just recently. They showed the highlight where Juice is saying, "Hey, George, come in motion, come in motion." He's like,
that's true.
stay there.
That's true. That's true. That's 100% correct. Because the play, it's two plays in one play.
Yes.
So all that red zebra cap,
He doing all that in the
Omaha,
huddle.
It's in the huddle. It's in the play. It's already
Yes,
in
sir.
the play.
Yeah.
Opposed to changing it up forcing the defenses. Which look, at the end of the day, like if you talked about processing, if we made that a metric, and I know you can't measure processing, you're gonna have to use shit.
Here you go. Tell me you can't measure processing, and then tell me what you think about Sam Darnold. Tell me you can't measure processing, and tell me what you think about some of these other guys. Matt Stafford versus Sam Darnold.
Shit.
Okay. Right? Like, I mean.
Let me read you the top 10 quarterbacks graded per PFF last year. So going into this year, these are the top 10. You ready? Just this offensive grade, not passing. This is all.
That's total, what I was going to say. That'll tell you how. Okay, but it don't.
Yeah,
okay.
Total offensive grade. I can go passing, but I'm just going to go offensive combined. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow tied for number 1. They both finished with a 94. Josh Allen, number 3, 91.8. Justin Herbert, 91.74. Jaden Daniels, 89.65. Baker Mayfield, 86.6. Patrick Mahomes, 85.87. Sam Darnold, 82.7. 8. Geno Smith, 82.59. And then Brock Purdy, 82.410. 3 of these quarterbacks. Well,
MVPs.
well, yeah, I wasn't even going to go there, but I was going to say 2 of these quarterbacks used to play in the NFC West. The only one that, one of these 2, because Geno Smith, now he moved to the AFC West, and now you're bringing Sam Darnold back to the NFC West.
Who was 1 and 2? Was it, you said Joe Burrow and
Lamar Jackson.
And Lamar Jackson. What were Joe Burrow's stats last year? Because Lamar Jackson was something crazy, like 41 and 4, right? Like he had a crazy.
Bro, do you want to know why? First of all, I know Josh Allen was MVP, but god dang, Joe Burrow should have been MVP, bro.
Did he have that good of a year? I honestly, I legitimately don't know. I have no idea.
43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, bro.
Lamar Jackson was better.
41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
I like that ratio way more. He threw twice as many interceptions and only 2 more touchdowns.
But he also ran the ball more. And the dropbacks are way less.
How many yards did they account for?
You got to factor in the dropbacks, dog, because Joe Burrow led the league with 725 dropbacks. And then it's like a dip.
And only 41 touchdowns or 43 touchdowns.
43 touchdowns, yep.
Out of 700 attempts.
725 dropbacks. Yes.
No bueno, papi.
You saying no bueno?
No bueno, papi. 700 to 43. What was Lamar Jackson's dropbacks?
I'm just saying this guy is throwing the ball almost like twice as many snaps as everybody else because they couldn't run. Like you know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair because they couldn't run. Okay, that part is true. I was just saying that if you drop back twice as much, you should have a lot more touchdowns.
It wasn't twice as much, but I was just, yeah. But the snaps was high, like 725. Because what I did was I went for 50% of 725. I'm like, why is 725 the number? And it's because that was his number. He had the most snaps, most dropbacks.
But they did have Brock Purdy as a top 10.
Brock Purdy's top 10,
and that was based off of QBR.
This is just their total offensive grade, running, passing, interceptions, touchdowns, all that stuff. You just put it all together. Now, if you want to break it down statistically by category, we can, because that's where I am. Because Brock Purdy would be low on the touchdown category.
For sure. He's going to be low on the touchdown. Yeah, absolutely. And he's probably going to be lower on the yards, too. I don't know if he's top 10 in yards.
Well, no, he was top 10 yards. He almost had 4,000.
No, he was not. Shut your face.
That's why we here, bruh.
No, he wasn't.
I was like, whoa, Brock was slinging the rock. George Kittle had a phenomenal year, bro.
One.
It wasn't just him. Jawan Jennings almost had 1,000 yards. Deebo Samuel was close to like 700. Like, them cats he was pushing the rock. We couldn't run the ball.
Like Joe Burrow, but we had a lot less. Never mind. Yeah.
Because our game is predicated
we
based
actually
off
ran
of
the
the
ball
run.
pretty successfully, I think. Yeah, it's just the way we had to do it. You know what I mean? I think Garendo finished with over 4 yards a carry as well, right? Like them boys was eating. Mason finished with more than 4 yards a carry.
All right, let me just give you the drop back numbers. So 725, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, 682, Patrick Mahomes, 661, Baker Mayfield, 657. And then if you want to know where Brock Purdy was, 537. So he's 17th on the list, which was 3 less dropbacks than your guy, Lamar Jackson.
Did you see the efficiency that Lamar Jackson was working with, though? Like,
It's because they got a run game, though. Come on, man.
41 touchdowns. Every 10 pass attempts or dropbacks was a touchdown. That is nuts.
That is nuts.
That is nuts.
It is nuts, but when you run the ball successfully, it happens. Terra Dome Super Chat says total QBR since Brock starting December 22nd. Number 1, Josh
December
Allen.
2022.
December 2022. I had the arrow over the 0. That's funny. Josh Allen, 72.3. Number 1, Lamar Jackson, 71.1. Number 2. Number 3, Brock Purdy, 70.6. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes, 67.6. Number 5, Joe Burrow, 66.8. And people would get mad at me when they said, matter of fact, it was our show, and I said, give me Brock over Joe Burrow. I remember that. I remember getting thrashed.
We just did that 2 days. You trying to be funny? We just did that on Monday.
I really wasn't trying to be funny, but now that you say I'm trying to be funny, motherfucking yeah, I'm trying to be funny because you thrashed me. Nah.
Because you wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Joe,
To say, I would say that Joe Burrow had phenomenal season. This dude threw almost 5,000 yards, Mike. 4,918 yards. It's a lot.
He can get it done. He can get it done for sure.
He was dope.
For sure.
But we also narrowed it down to this cat was throwing the 2 crazy star wideouts. Like 2.
Yes, he was. Yeah. And see, that's the kind of stuff that I think Brock's not going to get credit for, right? Like when the offense was falling apart around him, he was steady Eddie, cool as a cucumber. Was it his best year? Absolutely not. Was it his best touchdown interception ratio? Absolutely not. But he was still good and efficient. You know what I mean? Like to the point where, like we hung around watching Niner games till late third, fourth quarter because we were like, damn, we actually in this. We got a shot, right? There weren't many games. I'm trying to think of any at all where, like, in the first half, I was like, yeah, this joint is over. Like, there were games that we went into knowing we weren't going to win, but you want to see us fight. You know what I mean? Like, down the stretch, we knew we weren't going to win a lot of those games, but it was like, I want to see us fight. It was first half, like, we was in them joints.
I think situational was the issue for the Niners. And I think that hurt Brock Purdy most than anything.
Especially when you consider what I think situational is, right? Like, if the offense gets a quick score, defense, we need y'all to get a stop.
Correct.
Right? That's more situational than can just the offense score right here in this situation. No, like, we need to complement each other, and there was no complementary football.
I would call that complementary football opposed to situational football. Situations, to me, is just more about situations as far as situations, but if it was like on a third and long or a 4th and 1 and the defense went out and got him a stop, that's situational to me. But no, I agree. I get what you're saying. I just feel like in the red zone we were terrible, and penalties were a hard factor for the San Francisco 49ers. But I don't think that hindered Brock. Like, you look at Brock Purdy and I'm like, yo, how is these stats bad? Like, tell me how this is bad for Brock Purdy. And Mike, I really need you to tell me how this is bad. If I told you that now you want to do the touchdown ratio, how you did that real quick for Lamar Jackson, since you had that 537 dropbacks, he threw for 20 touchdowns. So, what's that ratio?
That's 500 to 20 what?
So 537 to 20.
That is a touchdown every.
You just do the math.
50, 25 throws.
Okay. Well, that's not good.
25 dropbacks.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
no.
Not, oh.
No. That's basically like.
That's 20%.
That's like a touchdown a game, a little bit more than a touchdown a game. Well, you said 20, so that makes sense. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I'm sitting here doing the math like, well, there's this many games plays in the game. Like, no, that's just not. 25%. That's not going to cut it.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's not good.
So he 65.9 completion percentage, 3,864 yards. He was average 8.5 yards per attempt.
And I think that's low in the league this way
What's
with
low? I don't know what you're talking about.
17 to 3,800 the
Because
yards.
he finished 10th.
I know. I can still feel like it's low though. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
had people throwing for 5,000. Like,
You had one
seasons
person
ago with
throw for
16 games.
4,800. Oh, you
800.
talking about in a different year. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of comparing like that. These numbers sound like Alex Smith numbers. His good year. Like these sound like Alex Smith's good, like 2011 numbers, is what they sound like to me. And I think that we should be ahead of that. But again, there was a lot of injury stuff.
But it was injuries, and there were situations where they couldn't get those touchdowns in the red zone, which would have boosted up Brock Purdy's numbers, which would have boosted up. Like, you get what I'm saying? And it probably would have gave the team more wins, right? Like, how many of these games we lost last year where we should have won, literally,
right,
because of a situation. You know what I'm saying? Think about the situations I'm talking about. Like, your special teams suck, and so now your kicker got to make the tackle to save a touchdown, but then messed up his whole career. That's a situation.
See, 2011. Yeah, these numbers is crazy.
I wanted to know what you was talking about.
Because Alex Smith threw for 3,100 yards, 31-44, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
In 16 games, right?
That was 16 games. He completed 61.3% of his passes.
Mm-hmm. I just don't see how Brock Purdy's numbers. I think if Brock Purdy had more touchdowns, let's say Brock Purdy had 28 to 12, or let's just say Brock had threw less, just them fucking interceptions, bro.
Yeah. Yes, that's what makes me say like, yeah.
So okay, so how are we going to determine? Brock said he's a top 10 quarterback. How do we determine what makes Brock Purdy a top 10 quarterback?
Salary excluded. Right?
No, we're not talking about salary. I'm tired of the salary. The motherfucker's paid. It's done. Boom.
I'm going to say field generalship.
But what number? Okay, I like that. What am I using to equate field generalship? Efficiency, completion percentage.
Efficiency. I like that. That's what it should be measured off.
And
that's
to
what it should
me,
be based off of.
That's where Brock, in my opinion,
oh shit, I just got goosebumps.
Was worse than he was the year before. His efficiency, though it didn't drop drastically statistically, I think when you looked at him, he didn't look like the same Brock. He wasn't as efficient. Those quick throws weren't there. We weren't throwing to Debo. We weren't throwing to Debo like we normally throw to Debo. We weren't getting the ball to the check down like we normally get the ball to the check down. When you look at 49ers and Kyle Shanahan's offense, what makes his offense tick? It's efficiency. It's getting yards after the catch. It's getting the ball into your playmakers' hands and whatever. You can't stop that. You can't defend what players' will does after they catch the ball, bro. But if you missing some of these key components and it's 11-on-1, I don't see how one man breaking 11 tackles, dog. Just not happening. And if they are, man, that's a Marvel character for you. That's a Marvel character. So I just feel like I feel like that element. You said it. I did not agree with it. I argued with you, and I was wrong. And you said that the offense was different, and I said no, it's not. And you said yes, it is. I said no, it's not. And then I said yes, it is. And you said yes, it is. You didn't even say told you so. You saw it. You saw it developing into passes down the field, route running, all the stuff that we would like to see, but we ain't got the players.
Right, yeah.
So why change it up?
I think it was a year to see if Brock could do it, right?
Okay.
If there was a year to try
this was a developmental year.
A major like, right? We're not paying you this money if we don't think you could throw that ball down the field when we need you to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't throw that deep shot down the field when we need you to. If you can't throw that pinpoint accuracy route to your fullback on the left sideline where he's toe tag, no one else can possibly get that. That is a automatic first down every time we run that play if you could deliver that ball, right? Like, those are the things we need to see.
I just feel like Brock Purdy is top 10. I've been on cue of saying he's elite, and I stand by that because what I see from him is the processing. I understand he struggles. I understand elements. I'm hoping that's a fluke in his development. I think in them elemental games, he was just trying to do more and not sticking to the fundamentals. I'm hoping it was more fundamental than it was elemental, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I think moving forward, I think Brock has earned where he is with his bag and whatever. I just feel like we're going to get that. We're going to get back to being the type of Brock that we see. It's not all about just being efficient with the quick throws. It's all about taking what the defense is giving you. Now, that right there.
Yeah.
I thought Brock forced a lot last year, and I thought that difference made him stand out and looked a little bit different to me. Did it make him not top 10? No. He was top 10 statistically in yards per attempt. He was top 10 in yards. He was top 10 in completion percentage. Like, how is he not top 10 if he's top 10 in all the quarterback statistical categories? He wasn't top 10 in touchdowns, and he was top in receptions. Like, that's not good. You want to be low on that category. But overall, what makes Brock Purdy not a top 10 quarterback? Because he 3 games of elemental weather.
I mean, top 10 guys can play in any weather. They might not win all the time, but that can't be an excuse. We fret when we find out it's inclement weather coming.
We do because we know we go to the small hand syndrome.
Right.
You know, he can't grip the ball. Mm-hmm. But then why not find a way to prepare for that? Like, why not put on a glove which will give you some extra hand length or something? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why they don't address the inclement weather type of games for Brock Purdy to prepare for. But those, to me, are the games he struggled. I can't remember all the inclement weather games we played last year, Mike. The only one that stands out to me was the Buffalo game, and it was his lowest graded game all season with a 46.4. It's crazy because he didn't shoot an interception in that game. He was just ass. Right? Like, that's crazy.
It's funny, right? Like, you're like, oh, man, he had a clean game and we still lost. Like, yeah, bro, like, it's one of them things.
My man Scotty D says, if you not top 10 QB, the number way to never be one is to answer the question in any other way. So if you're not a top 10 QB, the number way to never be one is to answer the question in any other way. I just wanted to read some of these top 10 quarterback comments out there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do think that Brock Purdy is special. I think that there are some things that he does that are top 10 in the NFL. There's some things that I think he does that are bottom 10 in the NFL, right? But then I think there's more positives and negatives, and I think he's above average in a lot.
I need a bottom 10 example. I'm sorry, you can't sit there and say he's bottom 10 in something. But I need an example other than you want to go touchdowns. I mean, is that where you were going with that?
No.
Okay.
I was talking about physical attributes. I was only talking about like what he physically does. Yeah, only what he physically does. But it's not like he don't have the strongest arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that already.
Yeah, but it don't look weak.
His arm is plenty. Yeah, I'm about to say he's got plenty of strength in the arm, so it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't throw with the most velocity. He doesn't, and that's okay because when we had a guy that only threw with velocity, we couldn't wait to get his ass out of here. You know. So
I hear you. Okay, I see where Scotty D is coming. Now, I like the old school 49er fans because, you know, but sometimes I do understand where we're coming from. I just needed. He says back in the 80s, we were never asked this question. It was, Joe, can the 49ers get to the Super Bowl this year? Never, Joe, are you better quarterback than X, Y, and Z? Okay, respect. Now I got you. And that's what Mike was saying. He was like, earlier, he was like, they should have asked the question a certain way. Mike, how did you say that they should have asked the question? I remember that.
So what I said was, do you believe that you're a top 10 quarterback? And if so, tell us why.
Yeah, like, and that's okay to say because now you're not putting anybody else down and you're really just promoting yourself, right? Like, yeah, man, listen, I'm great at this. I'm great at this. I need to work on this. And that's the cool thing. We saw Brock. He talked about some of the things he needed to work on. Smash that like button, y'all. Dre Arias Sports says so. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel. And Rob D is the biggest promoter. He should be our Don King. He says, buy now Breezy's hand lengthening gloves for only $19.99. I don't think Mike was paying me any attention, Rob, when I said that. Brock could put on some gloves to extend his hands. I don't think he heard me because he was on his phone or something like that. At that, I just need him to grip the ball in the inclement weather. That's all.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
No, I'm not saying the gloves will do it.
I hate that that's a thing. No, I know, but I hate that that's a thing for him. I hate that.
It's a thing for us. What if it's not a thing for him? What if it's something, a different factor? That's what we are zeroed in on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Because what other game did it rain and he played poorly? I can't remember the game from last year. I'm thinking of last year. I don't know.
They were saying when he played the Buck, was it the Bucks?
I can't remember. I felt like, didn't we beat the Bucks?
We did. What he played against Tom Brady once or twice in his career?
Once. He beat that ass.
Was that a bad weather game?
Nah, we bust that behind. We beat Tom Brady by the 40s. The Packers game in the playoffs. Nah, it had to be another game from last year, if I'm not mistaken. I can't call.
And
was it Seattle?
He played in bad weather?
Yeah. Was it Seattle?
Right, here we go. Watch this. 49ers games in precipitation.
I didn't know you could look something up like that.
2025. Oh, shoot. I meant 2024.
Oh, I got to get up out of here.
Ain't nothing but a gangster.
So I'm just looking at his games where he graded bad. What about Kansas City? Was that a bad weather game or we just played poorly?
The game, Thursday Night Football, December 12th. First half was played in a downpour. December 12th. That was the Rams.
So that was after the Buffalo game.
That's like week 14-ish, 13, 14?
Yeah, 15.
15. I was close.
Yep, 54.7. Bad game. Shot an interception. Only averaged 4.6 yards per attempt. 142 yards. Completion percentage was 45.2%. He was 14 for 31 in that game. He dropped back 34 times. Damn.
That's terrible. And then there was
This is what I was going to say, Anthony. I didn't want to say it, but I was wondering, does the center exchange and inclement weather have anything to do with the quarterback getting the grip on the ball? I was going to ask that question to you, Mike.
I mean, it's just the exchange. It's the first step in your drop. So, I mean, it could mess you up, but by the time you hit the back step in your drop, you got the ball by then. It's not going to affect the way you throw the ball. And it's not like he's snapping the ball and dropping it and fumbling. You know what I'm saying?
But still, what if
we had one game in rain last year, yo?
Was that Rams game.
That was the only one last year.
And the other one was in snow. So it was 2 inclement games last year.
Nah, there was I don't see snow.
Buffalo, bro. I know you remember the Buffalo game.
It says mostly cloudy. It don't say anything about snow on it.
Bro, it didn't snow. It might not have snowed that day, but it had snowed that weekend. And we were running in the snow.
They were shoveling it out. Yeah. I do remember that.
I was about to say, how do you not remember that game? I guess my theory process is if Brock Purdy feels like he's a top 10 QB, that's what's up. But I can already tell you I'm okay with Brock declaring that. That does not bother me because when they asked him other questions, when they asked him about his contract extension, when they asked him certain things, all he talked about was how he can be better so that his team can win. And so if you're going to ask me, am I a top 10 quarterback? Cool. But if you ask me, what do I need to work on? He's going to tell you fundamentals, getting back to trusting these coaches, and making sure that this team is in the right position to win. And so if he's saying that, plus saying the other stuff, I'm okay with him saying he's a top 10 quarterback. We're going to end the show with a super chat contribution. Mike, you can read this one from my brother, Terradome.
He says, I was going to say something to Scotty D just now also. But
you
that
can.
Brock Purdy answer you just said, is the type of answer Scotty D is talking about. Where back in the day, it wasn't about how good are you versus that guy. It was, is this team better than that team, right? Brock Purdy's answer has always been, I'm all about making the team better. Every answer he says is all about, I want to make the team better, team better, team better. Not about, I want to be better than Tom Brady. I want to be better. Like, it's not that. All right, Scotty D. They also didn't ask Joe or Steve, are you only good because of Coach Walsh?
That's
Bill
another
Walsh,
thing, yeah.
Clark, Solomon,
Hold on. I got to give him the
Rice,
bomb.
Taylor,
You're right.
Craig, Rathman, and Jones. They never said it. And this goes back to exactly what we're talking about, right? It's like it was all about, is your team better? Are y'all ready for this battle? What does the opponent bring to you that you're worried about? What team in the NFL do you think is the biggest threat to you guys and your success? But those were the questions that were asked back in the day. Mm-hmm. Right? Now maybe we didn't watch enough of the inside the presser things because we also didn't get these kind of clips all the time. It was like headline grabbing ones.
Good
and
point.
Then they were printed or put in the paper. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. Now we get to see when they fart at the press conference. That stuff wasn't going out before. You know what I mean? So
that's a great point, Mike. Great point. Great way to close out. Great way to close out the show, too. If you guys feel like Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback, let us know in the comment section of the show. Don't forget to smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Mike, it's Memorial Day weekend. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. And I hope everybody out there has a great Memorial Day weekend. And, Mike, you can send us home, bro. Let's go.
We live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Breezy. I'm Mike, and this is The BAM Show.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.